tapestry of diversity. I, on behalf of my college, Atmaram Sanatan Dharm College, I, on behalf of my Honorable Principal, Professor Gyantosh Kumar Jha, my IQAC coordinator, Professor Vinita Tuli, and the co-convener, Professor Anjali Gupta, Dr. Syed Mubin Zahra, and my entire team feel honored to welcome you, Professor Satyavrat Rout, and thank you for putting in so much effort and making this happen despite your busy schedule. After bearing all the, I was just telling the participants that we are bearing all the theatrics of the technical theatrics that was going on, and finally we get to see you. And it is my honor, Professor.
Hello.
I will try to make it short because we need to and we are lucky. First of all, my friends, I want to tell you this, and I feel very happy to say that Rout has been conferred with the
Voice is not audible.
President Ramnath Kovindji in New Delhi. Sir, been into theatre direction. His major direction consists of many such work. Sir is presently a professor and head of theatrical at University of Hyderabad, and he calls himself as an Indian theatre director and a scenographer. He's also a renowned author and a theatre academician. That is wonderful, sir. He was a former faculty member of the National School of Drama, and I assume sir today is also in Delhi, and he's busy with some of his work there. At present, sir is professor and head of the Department of Theatre at the University of Delhi. He is known for his contribution towards visual theatre in India. If you just give me a minute, I would like to just say something more about sir. And he has been conferred with many prestigious honors and awards that include Senior Fellowship by the Ministry of Culture, Government of India. He has received the Manohar Singh Smriti Samman 2006 by National School of Drama, New Delhi. Sir has also received the Best Award 2013 for the play multi-disciplinary that is a award. Also received the Mohan Rakesh Samman 2015 by Sahitya Kala Delhi. Yes, gives throughout his work. And I already mentioned that he has received the Sangeet Natak Academy Award by Central Sangeet Natak Academy. Sir has been a Fulbright Nehru Fellowship 2018-19 by G.M. He also received the B.V. Kamath Samman 2019, National School of Drama, New Delhi. Sir has also received the Natya Purush Samman 2000. Currently, as I mentioned, Professor Rout is a professor of scenography and direction, and he's heading the Department of Theatre at the University of Hyderabad. Sir has widely traveled, and he has traveled to many European and Asian countries related with theatre training. I'm sure Sir will share some of his. He's had academic engagements in these various universities and institutions. He has directed Hyderabad Spanish. That's very interesting because I'm really looking forward to it, the Hyderabad. And at the university, has been to Sri Lanka, Singhali language. He's directed some plays. He was a visiting faculty and taught biodrama school. He has intensively studied mask making in Tokyo. Amazing. with a Japan Foundation scholarship. Sir has done his PhD on the influence of Vivekananda and critical study. Sir, I think I can go on and on. So I rest myself here, giving the stage to you. Sir, I'm very intrigued and really looking forward to your lecture today. And the topic that you're going to speak on is Theatre of Roots, Searching Identity and in Folk Theatres. Now, this topic, sir, I just want to tell you that the participants here are not from humanities. They are a mixed bag. They are from different area of studies. They are from humanities, from sciences, from law, from commerce. So it's a interdisciplinary course, and I'm sure that this lecture of yours would add to our tapestry, because this the theatre of roots is basically, it connects, it cuts across linguistic barriers, and it has an all India character and pan India character. And I have been following and reading some of your work, because and that was very interesting, because your approach to theatre of roots is very interesting. And now, not taking much of your time, sir, I invite you to please come and enlighten us with your wise words. Thank you, sir. Welcome, sir. Professor Rout, I welcome you. Namaskar. Sir, you have to switch on the audio, sir. Just the mic बना हुआ है, वो आप
Kindly unmute it, sir.
just unmute yourself.
Yeah,
That's
am I audible now?
Yes, sir. Please go ahead. Please go ahead.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Now, so thank you very much, ma'am, for giving me this platform to talk about Indian theatre in the context of folk and our traditional art forms. It's very interesting topic. Of course, my research has I have done a long time research on Indian theatre particularly, and Indian theatre cannot be separated from our tradition and cultures. And the interesting part of it is that I have been groomed with those people in Indian drama, Indian theatre, those who have worked on the roots, like for example Habib Tanvir, B.V. Karant, Kavalam Narayan Panikkar from Kerala, and Ratan Thiam from Manipur. So that is why I strongly believe that Indian theatre, if we talk of Indian theatre, we have to find our identity through our Indian idioms and language. So if we talk about our Natyasastra traditions, in Natyasastra traditions, there are two way of presenting plays, because I know that I'm talking to the students, those who are nothing to do with theater, but everybody has to do with our culture. Without living culture, we cannot say we belong to this motherland. So irrespective of my vocation, my profession, if I'm a doctor or an engineer or advocate or a teacher or anybody, my first priority and identity is that I am an Indian. And in India, we definitely do like this, pranam. When I say namaskar, that is purely Indian, and that is my root. Well, I cannot, even when I was in USA, also I stayed there for 1 year. People say hi, hello. It is very difficult for me to say hi, hello, and shaking hand. Automatically, my hand goes up, because I've been born and brought up in such a soil. The smell of the soil, the aroma of its air, that the fragrance that spread around us is purely Indian. So that India is a country which is known for its philosophy, its tradition, its culture, and its ancient things. So when we say folk tradition, as I told, in Natya Shastra, that is written by Bharat Muni around from 250 BC, around that time phase, the play, it has been written.
So you're not audible.
It goes up. Now, this phone is really disturbing.
It's
Hi,
all right, sir.
hello.
Please carry on. आप distract मत होइए. You carry on, sir. We just want to listen to you.
Okay, so in that context, in Natyasastra, which was written 2,500 years before, that is called Panchama Veda or fifth Veda of Indian tradition, which conceals itself in it encircles our Indian Natyam. Natyam is how can I describe it? It is not acting, it's not performance, it's the mixing of our everything, dance, theater, music, our Indian architecture, sculpture, everything comes under that Natyam. Bharatanatyam, is written by Bharat Muni, has two ways of presenting drama in our ancient India. One is Natyadharmi, another is Lokadharmi. Natyadharmi traditions follows the intricacy of rhythm. Then it has a complete codifications with stylization, with the music. Like, for example, we can say our Indian classical plays. Most of the plays are based on Natyadharmi traditions. Rhythmic, harmonious, musical drama, we can say. And in another aspect is folk-based. That is called Lokadharmi. Lokadharmi tradition is full of with improvisations. At present, Asu Abhinay, we can say. Improvisations are all our tradition and folk belongs to Lokadharmi parampara, yeah, Lokadharmi traditions. So when if I talk of contemporary Indian drama, yeah, post-colonial, we can say, in post-colonial period, that starts after India gets independence. So during the period of British or in our colonial time, Britishers used to think, or they have also taken it for granted that India is a very poor land, and it's full of with local and uneducated people. So these forms, our folk and traditional forms, our tribal forms, has been sidelined by them. And on contrary to that, they used to invite British plays in English plays from European countries, and in the initial phase in 19th century, in 18th century, they used to invite British plays. So Shakespeare used to come to India. I mean, Shakespearean plays, not Shakespeare. Shakespearean plays has come to India. Merchant of Venice was first presented in Calcutta, as I remember, in 1800. 1780, around 1886, around that time phase, in Calcutta, Merchant of Venice from England came to India. So our Indian people, they got fascinated with Shakespearean plays, and a form that is developed in India, that is called Parsi theater. Parsi theater, the people particularly in Bombay and Gujarat, the people, those who have lots of money, these Parsi people, they have seen Shakespeare English plays that is coming from Europe, and they developed a company that is called Zoroastrian Theatrical Company. It was established in 1850, as I remember, and they started presenting Shakespeare. But still then, since it is being performed by Indian people, though everything, the costumes, the dialogues, and in the beginning it was English dialogue, and then they translate that into Gujarati and into Urdu, but the actors were Indian. So the form that is developed, it becomes a hybrid form. It was not exactly Shakespearean presentation or exactly Indian presentation. So somehow or other, our tradition tried to incorporate, I mean, crept into the British style. So from that period, from 1850, actually, a hybrid kind of theater started emerging that incorporate our Indian traditional, our roots, along with the European cultures. But at the same time, it is these Britishers, they usually hate our traditions. So I mean, these forms were being patronized in the beginning of I mean, during the period of Mughal, and in the period of Mughal particularly, our traditional forms, our Lok Gayaki Parampara, Qawwali Parampara, and all these traditions has been patronized by the king. But unfortunately, Britishers, they stopped patronizations, and for that reason, our tradition is going to be, I mean, some of the forms have been abolished. Like, for example, there is a form in my state, in Odisha, there was a form in Odisha that is called Mughal Tamsa. Mughal Tamsa is a traditional form which is not, now it is not there at all. It has been abolished in British time. So they didn't patronize. So the actors, they have to find different vocations. And in that way, many forms, many traditional, tribal or folk cultures, folk tradition has been vanished from this, which is very unfortunate, of course. So there is also another form in Odisha, in Bengal, that is called Giltinatya tradition. I mean, which was till 1940, the last actor, as I heard from my ancestors, till 1940 the form exists, but after that there is no trace of that form. It is in the public mind. So in the memory only. So we don't find these kind of forms. So in that way, hundreds of our traditional theatrical forms has been abolished from this country. So when India get independence during the period of Pandit Nehru has a vision. Nehru is a great visionary. So he invited people, those who are efficient from their own field, and in the faculty of art and tradition, he invited Kamala Devi Chattopadhyay. That is the lady who really has we can say redefined Indian art, culture, tradition, even in Pragati Madan or our India heritage, all the heritage, our handicraft, our theater, dance forms. She tried to revive. Kamala Devi Chattopadhyay has an idea, and that idea was to merge Western sensibility, not Western sensibility, modern sensibility, with the traditional forms. It has to create a new hybrid sensibility. So sometimes we call it third theater. Third theater. Why? Because first theater is the European theater or modern theater, modern Indian drama, and second theater is our traditional theaters, folk theaters. See, India is a country with diverse cultures, lots of states, lots of Boli, dialects, lot of Muhavara, and every state has many languages even, because language is also a culture-bound, culture-based. Every language, what I say is dialects. In every dialect we can find a traditional form. So hundreds and thousands of form has been developed in this country during around, it started in 9th century till today. We have lots of forms. So these forms are the verge of extinction. So Kamala Devi Chattopadhyay invited a few Indian directors, Indian theater directors, dancers, and artisans, craft makers, to give a thought to this. And one eminent person from India, his name is I just forgot his name. So three people came to front line. Habib Tanvir, first torchbearer of this hybrid kind of theater. Second, B.V. Karant. Third, Kavalam Narayan Panikkar. And fourth is Ratan Thiyam. So in theater practice, in practicing theater, these four important theater directors started with Kavalam Narayan, Habib Tanvir. Habib Tanvir, and let me talk about Habib Tanvir a little bit. Habib Tanvir he belonged to Raipur district, Raipur in Chhattisgarh now. It was in Madhya Pradesh in those days. And he was a man from IPTA movement. IPTA, let me tell you, IPTA, Indian People's Theatre Association. It was being formed in Bengal in the beginning in 1942. IPTA was formed, and many people, like all the filmmakers and intellectuals, people from art and culture, they tried to involve into IPTA. The purpose of IPTA, Indian People Theatre Association, was to create a political and social awareness among the people of India that helped to quit British Raj. So in that, people like K.F. Azmi, then Hangal Sahab in film industry, H.K. Hangal, I think I just forgot his name, Sambhu Mitra, Utpal Dutt, Bijan Bhattacharya, Maheshwata Devi. These are the eminent people, and many people. and intellectuals. Most of the Indian intellectual brains were involved in that.
Ali
In
Sardar
that,
Jafri. Ali Sardar
yeah,
Jafri.
Ali Sardar Jafri,
Cafe
yes, yes. Yeah, Cafe Azmi. So these people, they have a political awareness. At the same time, they have a strong cultural. You see, Cafe Azmi, the entire his clan, his daughter and son-in-law, they are the best writers of this country. And Savana Azmi, how can I describe her? She is, I think, the pioneer of Indian in theater and cinema. She is a synonym of Indian, contemporary Indian cinema, created a new vision, new language into theater, into cinema. And also I have seen her performing Caucasian Chalk Circle on stage in 80s. She used to act. So these people, they started IPTA movement. So Habib Tanvir belonged to study theater and went to London. And joined in RADA, Royal Academy of Dramatic Arts. That is in 1950, I think. I'm not sure, 50 or 51. Around this time, he went to London and studied Western theater. And 1 year he completed there, and the second year he realized for what I am doing this, and he didn't have answer to that, because Habib Tanvir belonged to Chhattisgarh. You know, Chhattisgarh, everybody sings, everybody dances. Even a village farmer, while doing her crops and while putting, I mean, doing agriculture, also sings. You can see, you can listen to that on the roadside. Like I remember one poem in English. What is that? Young solitary laughs in my childhood. I think Wordsworth's poem. Behold her singing in the field, young solitary iron lass, reaping and singing by herself. Stop here, her gentle pass.
Solitary Reaper. Solitary Reaper.
Solitary Reaper, yes. So exactly, yes. The countryside song. That is our folk. That is our heart-throbbing music. India is full of that. Habib Tanvir belonged to that tradition. But when he went to London and he became isolated, he thought that I'm wasting my time here learning British theatre. It's good for nothing. And he wrote in his diary, we found, it is published by Seagull, we found that he has written his frustrations in his diary, that I'm creating a vacuum in myself. I'm completely void of my own tradition. I cannot bridging myself with this tradition. So out of frustration, in second year he left RADA and traveled nomadically the entire Europe in 50 or 51, maybe in 51. And fortunately, he went to Bertolt Brecht, one of the pioneer of contemporary European theater in Germany.
Mm-hmm.
So Brecht has taken elements from China, from Japan, and from India. He traveled. Brecht was a traveler. He traveled these Asian countries and collected elements and created his own theater grammar, which was different from our Western mindset. So in Brecht's play, you will find lots of music, like in our Indian theater, or we have music even in Indian cinema. If you see Indian cinema and compare that to Western Bollywood cinema, you'll find a lot of cultural gap. Indian cinema, whenever hero and heroine join together in a romantic scene, you'll find lots of heart-throbbing songs. So, but in realism, in realistic way, we never sing in front of our girlfriend or our fiancé. But even in Indian cinema, when one going to a Farsi, for example, Bhagat Singh is going to Farsi, sings a song, Mere Rang De Basanti Chola. So these are our Indian cultures. Everything we express in a larger scale. So in Natya Shastra also it is said, when Duryodhana has been killed in Natya Shastra, based on that Natya Shastra in Harsha's play, Urubhangam, we can see when Duryodhana is going to, he has been killed by Bhima. And at the time of his death, he sings a song and says that, oh, I'm going to heaven now, and Indra and Urvasi, they are waiting for me, and my life I get a salvation, and I'm going to heaven. And a chariot come from heaven, and he sits there and he smile and give his wishes to all his family and everybody and went to heaven. So this is India. In Indianness is complete. So we have a celebration mood everywhere. We have celebrations, we have rituals, we have songs, we have dance. So Habib Tanvir found that in Brecht theater. So and he learned that and came back to India in 53, I think, or 53 or 54, and started his theater group. First, he started it in Delhi, but in Delhi, he didn't find actors. He and his wife, Monica Mishra, and Habib Tanvir, they established Naya Theatre. Newness in that. I have a lot of interactions in my young boyhood or younghood when I was practicing theatre. I used to stay in Begusarai, not in Begusarai, in Katwaria Sarai in Delhi. Habib Sahab has he has a family, village there, nearby JNU, just adjacent to JNU. And we spent long nights there singing songs with his actors. His actors are a very uneducated actor. But uneducation, I'm sorry to say, but not in the context of our knowledge. They have great knowledgeable person, but they have no educational qualifications, but they are efficient. They are master of their arts. So Habib Tanvir found his expressions in his village only. In the beginning, 1 or 2 years, it was a trying out period. Then he went to, he found actors from his own village in Chhattisgarh or in Durg, in Bhilai. From there, he took singers. Nacha is a traditional form of that area of Chhattisgarh. He invited actors and brought them to Delhi and started his theater company. It was a very interesting fact for Indian, because it was the first beginning in 1954, I'm talking. In 54, he first presented Agra Bazaar. Agra Bazaar is a Nazir Akbarbadi ki poetries hai, based on that kalam. And he created, he mesmerized presentation of the environment, the poetic environment, and the integration of people. Integration from heart to heart, like Patangwala and poet, then Bandar Ka Naach, then circus, then all these book किताबों की दुकान आगरा में अभी भी वो tradition है. And Habib Tanvir is created a mesmerized presentation of Agra Bazaar using Indian culture into that production, and he traveled throughout the country with that play. That was the first beginning of root movements. So with that, and Habib Tanvir continued. We can talk in between our discourse. We can talk about Habib Tanvir's presentation. But on the other side of India, let's go to the extreme south. That is in Kerala. Kerala is known for Kathakali. Kerala is known for Kudiyattam. Kerala is known for Kalari Paitu martial art movements. Traditional theaters, classical Indian theater has found its root in Kerala, in South India. I must give you here, an information that first playwright in our Indian classical Indian theater, his name is Bhasa, the poet Bhasa. Bhasa is, people believe that scholars also has a great belief that Bhasa was before Natya Shastra, before Bharatamuni. So, because in Bhasa's plays is deviating from Natya Shastra principles. So people think that Bhasa is pre Natya Shastra phase. So maybe phase has been during that period. Bhasa might have written Indian plays, because in Indian play we have a very bad tendency that we try to not to write our name on the script. स्क्रिप्ट के ऊपर कोई नाम किसी ने लिखता ही नहीं, इसीलिए कालिदास की प्ले को हम नहीं कह सकते कालिदास ने लिखा है. एंड द रीजन इज वेरी ऑब्वियस, बिकॉज वी सब कुछ समर्पण करते हैं हम. इट इज ही ऑलमाइटी. सो एंड लाइफ इज माया एंड इल्यूजन. Life is illusion. So we are here for a temporary phase of time. The real truth is supreme. So he is the ultimate who has created. So हर जगह पे आप इसीलिए आप देखेंगे शादी के कार्ड के ऊपर या कोई भी आप पहले कोई when we start some work, do we write Om Ganeshaya Namah? First to start the work, we said Om Ganeshaya Namah. We, everything samarpit to Lord Ganesha. So I am nobody. I am a medium sent by him to create certain things in the name of him only. So he is important. I am not. So that is why our Indian writers has not written their name, and even no diary has been created. No diary has been written. डायरी का जो लिखने का डे टू डे अफेयर्स को लिखने का हमें मोगल से प्राप्त हुआ है. इन मोगल्स दे स्टार्टेड, कहते हैं कि अकबरनामा, बाबरनामा, द डायरीज हैव बीन रिटन एंड ब्रिटिशर्स इसको कोडिफाई किए हैं. बट बिफोर दैट प्री मोगल और इन our classical phase that starts from 3rd century BC till 8th and 9th century AD, जो 1200 साल के जो फेज रहा है, जिसमें ग्रेट राइटर्स यहाँ पैदा हुए, और क्लासिकल राइटर्स they have not written their name, but by looking, judging into the style of writing, we assume that this play might have been written by Kalidasa, or this play has been written by Bhasha, because in some of the Bhasha's, Kalidasa's plays or Bhavabhuti's plays, we heard that Shakuntala in his writings, he has written Shakuntala has been written by, but another writer has taken the name of other writers. So in that way, we nomenclature it that this is Bhasha, this is Kalidasa, this is Bhavabhuti, or this is somebody else. So accordingly, Bhasha's all 13 plays, Bhasha has written 13 plays, including Urubhangam, then Karnavara, Pratima, Pratibha Yogandhara, Madhyam Vayog, Dut Vakyam, Dut Ghatotkach. In that way, 13 plays from Mahabharata and Ramayana has been written by Bhasha, and all the scripts in the manuscript form was discovered in 1915 only in Kerala. That is very interesting. One Ganapata Sastri, one scholar from Kerala, he discovered these manuscripts in Bhojpatra, in manuscript form in somebody's house. So in that way, we can assume that our Indian classical theatre was more, though it is practiced everywhere in India, but mainly it is patronized by the kings of South India. But during all these phases, after classical Indian theatre has been finished in around 10th century, because of the invasion, because of the invasions and foreign invasions, I can say Mohammad Ghori or Das family, Das ones, then Khilji, then this Mughal. With that, our Indian classical is finished. And at the same time, was very difficult to pronounce. So, in fact, it was official language, but as I know that most of our India Indians cannot speak in Sanskrit. So, Prakrita, Apabhrans, and Pali, or any this language dialects, and it was practiced, and slowly that became our language now. So in that way, when language-based theatre, so culture also has the many shades. So South Indian culture, as I told, Kathakali, Kudiyattam now, Kudiyattam theatre, it's a traditional theatre form which is being practiced in Kerala, Kalamandalam, and anywhere in the temple. It's a temple culture. Today also you can go and see in Kutumbalam the practice, but the tradition, the linkage coming on from that period. But slowly, what happens now when in India get independence? One scholar, one theatre scholar, his name was Kavalam Narayan Panikkar. Kavalam Narayan Panikkar, he died in 2016, as I remember. 2016 में उनका death हुआ. So Kavalam Narayan Panikkar he was by practitioner, he is a lawyer, a practicing lawyer, but by passion, by heart, he is an artist. And he redefined Indian classical theatre with merging with other traditional forms. So his performance, most of his performances were in Sanskrit. He tried to revive the language. So Sanskrit became one of his major languages, along with that Malayalam language, which is very nearer to Sanskrit. And he used these traditional forms and presented, I think I can say he, redefined Indian classical theatre for the contemporary context as we see today. Today's because we do not have any record how the performances were being done during those days. So it is Panikkar's performance. We keep it as a barometer. So using of all traditional elements from Kathakali movements, dialogue delivery, speech, and actors' preparations, he developed a new grammar for theatre. So Kavalam Naran Panikkar has done most of the plays of, all the plays of Kalidasa, and maximum number of plays from Bhasa, and other plays also. Also, he has done many Malayali plays using these elements into that. So this is in South India. Then let me talk about one very important personality who happens to be I happens to be his disciple in theatre. He is Professor B.V. Karanth. B.V. Karanth from Kerala, from Karnataka. B.V. Karanth came to theatre in early 60s. In early 60s, he was from the childhood, he was he works in company theatre. Company theatre is completely based on Parsi theatre elements, using lots of music, and the way Shakespearean plays have been performed. In Karnataka, there was a theatre company called Gubbi Biranna Theatre Company. Gubbi Biranna was a famous theatre director of Karnataka in 19th century and early 20th century. And accordingly, he developed a company called Gubbi Biranna Theatrical Company, patronized by the King of Mysore. The King of Mysore. So B.V. Karanth was a young boy when he joined his theatre company. He was a runaway boy from home because of poverty and all these things. He wanted to learn something, but his family couldn't afford to provide money for learning. And he was a wonderful singer, folk singer. He started singing and people say that what nonsense you are doing. And he has been ill-treated by the family members. And at the age of 11, he left home and he ran away from home actually, and joined in this theatre company. In the beginning as a small child artist. Then he grew up and studied there and did his, 11th class, or whatever at that time, maybe entrance, something like that. He studied there privately. Then his urge for knowledge sent him to Banaras, and there he did privately BA and joined Banaras University in MA in Hindi. So he completed his master's degree there, though all the money has come from Gubbi Biranna Theatre Company. So that is very interesting that B.V. Karanth was patronized by a theatrical company, though he was not working there. Still then he get a scholarship from there and completed his graduation and joined in MA. And at the same time, he was a wonderful singer and a different kind of singer. Mainly his singing tradition has come from the folk songs of the South Kannada, Mangalore district or Mysore. So while doing his MA, he came in contact with Pandit Onkar Nath Thakur. Pandit Onkar Nath Thakur was, am I audible? My voice is, am I audible to you, madam? Audible, am I audible?
Yes, sir. Please
Sir,
carry on.
Yes, sir. Please continue. You're audible.
Yes,
sir.
yes. Can you hear me?
Okay.
Please.
Okay.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Please continue.
So Pandit
Onkar Nath
Thakur was a professor and head of the Department of Music in Banaras University, and Karanth learned at the same time. He was learning his Hindi, doing his MA, and studied classical Indian music from Onkar Nath Thakur, and completed 6 years in music, and he became a professional vocalist of classic Indian North Indian music. And at the same time, yes, he completed his PhD there. While he was doing PhD, he did one play in Banaras, and that is very, very interesting. In 1977, not in 77, in 1961 or 58 or 59, in end of 50s, he did a play called Chandragupta by Jayasankar Prasad. We all know that Prasad is a He is a poet from romantic of historical plays. But unfortunately, nobody in India has tried Prasad in the stage performance. Jaishankar Prasad has been in the course. People used to read, those who do MA in Hindi, they must have read Prasad in their syllabus. But Prasad, people say that Prasad is difficult to present because it's so narrative. It's long, verses, and it's very difficult to present it on the stage. But Karant broke that convention and presented Jaishankar Prasad in Banaras. And whilst doing the presentation, the director of National School of Drama, the then director in 1962, the director Ibrahim Alkazi, he's the founder director, and also Alkazi is a trained actor, trained director from RADA, where Habib Tanvir used to study. Alkaji completed the course and returned to India from London. And then Pandit Nehru invited him to give coaching to Mrs. Gandhi, Indira Gandhi, English, to spoken English, and how to talk, how to behave. So during that period when Ibrahim Alkaji was giving lesson to Pandit Nehru, Kamala Devi Chattopadhyay identified him and made him the director of National School of Drama. So that is the beginning of, school, NSD, जिसको हम आज जानते हैं. And so ऐसे Alkaji Sahab identified B.V. Karant in Banaras and invited him to study theatre as a student in National School of Drama. So in a way, very same contemporary age. Ibrahim Alkaji and B.V. Karant belong to same age group. But Karant became, after completion of his Ph.D, he joined NSD to take a diploma in dramatics. And after that, after completing 3 years in theatre and theatre direction, Karant became the director of National School of Drama in 80s. So during 20 years, that we can say from the beginning of 60s till the 75, this 15 years, Karant studied folk theatre and used folk elements into theatre. His famous play is Hayavadana. We all know Girish Karnad. I can talk elaborately about Hayavadan because I have a strong bindings with B.V. Karant and Girish Karnad. Both are my mentor. So here the thing is that a good director, a good Indian director, Habib Tanvir himself is a writer. Habib Tanvir writes his own plays. He seldom present other plays, but he writes for his own. He is author. Karant has not written any plays, but Karant has made playwrights. Because of him, many Indian playwrights came into limelight. Out of them, one is Girish Karnad. Girish and Karant both are, though Karnad is junior to B.V. Karant, almost 8 years less age में छोटा होंगे, but Karant motivated Girish Karnad to write plays. So Girish Karnad has written plays. In the beginning, you see in Tughlaq, his play Tughlaq, you will find a historical play in a very realistical approach. But then he took a turn and used root elements into theatre. That is because of B.V. Karant. So Karant told him to write Hayavadan for him to present it in Kannada, in Karnataka language, using all the folk elements of Karnataka. So in that they found 2 elements. One is Bhagavata Katha, Bhagavat Mela, we can say, in Kannada. There is a character called Bhagavat. Traditionally, Bhagavata, the Krishna Leela has been presented by a singer actor. So that element he used in this play. So you can see in Hayavadan, the play starts with a Bhagavata. The character is Bhagavata. That means who tells the story. So he is the narrator, and the entire play is a narrative. It's been told as a storytelling tradition. So the scene and Bhagavata comes, the scene comes. Ye jo hamari Indian tradition hai, in Indian tradition you will find, if you see any folk theatre, you can see in Notanki maybe you can see in Ramlila also in Ramlila we can see there are narrators. They sing the song, they narrate the story, and they enact the things. So like in Pandavani, Tijan Bhai perform karti hai. See, if anybody has experienced Pandavani, otherwise you can check it in YouTube. It's very interesting theatrical form of Chhattisgarh. In Pandavani, the singer actor, I can say, the singer actor sings the song with the folk tunes of the state, and at the same time he talks, he delivers dialogues, and with lots of theatrical energy. So the presentation, this performativity is purely Indian. So similarly, in Karnataka state also they have their performativity in Yakshagan tradition and in Bhagavata Katha. So both these forms has been interweaved and interplay with the dialogues and with the situation of the drama, and it makes the drama a journey, a spiritual journey from this end to that end. So ultimately, Padmini, Devadatta, and Kapila, according to the main characters, they वो अग्नि में अपने को समर्पित करते हैं and take a salvation as like Indian theater, and the play get popularity once it is presented in India. I mean in Hindi belt, not in Karnataka. So the play was first, it was presented by the Santar Theatre Group in Delhi in Hindi, directed by B.V. Karant. Obviously, Karant has made this play written by Karnad. So and that play brought all, I mean, Karant, a man of the roots, who brought elements from different sources and blend it into a theatricality with a contemporary modern outlook and very psychological presentation. So in that way, B.V. Karant has done another one very important play of Jaishankar Prasad, that is called Skandagop. Skandagop, a narrative, I mean dialogue based. We can call it a text based play, like Macbeth or Hamlet. If we read Macbeth or Hamlet of any Shakespeare, you will find lots of long speech, long dialogue delivery. Accordingly, because Prasad has written this play during the British period, so he was highly influenced by this British plays. So his plays are also very elongated, long, but experiment of this play. Because he's a man of theater, and at the same he tried to use contemporary theatricality and our folk and traditional elements, not only from Karnataka, from all parts of India. So that is very interesting. He brought elements from Rajasthani Kathavachan tradition, Khayal, then Nacha, Madhya Pradesh, Chhattisgarh now, the elements from Nacha, then the Bengal Baul music into it, and also Karnataka Yakshagan tradition he brought. So in that way, and finally, Karanji used to tell that I do not know from which source, what was my source, from where I brought these elements. Because I used to listen. I used to listen to the nature. I used to listen to sound of the river, sound of the valley, sound of the people of different culture. It's very interesting to know that people of different culture have their different rhythmic sounds. Like, for example, a man from Assam, the way we speak, that is my tradition. The way we speak is entirely different from a people of Karnataka or from a people of, and that the inner rhythm of the language motivates us to create our art. That means in my art, you will find lots of Odia elements, because I belong to that state. And I do not know how it came to me. It is in my blood. It is that comes to me. The vibration comes to me every time. Like, for example, in my state, you will find lots of flood, because it's a low-lying area. So, and my village is nearby the sea, and there are lots of river. So lots of flood we faced lots of flood, lots of cyclone, and in my design and in my theatrical presentations, or in my compositions, you will find these wavy movements. Lot of wavy movements. So that means subconsciously or unconsciously, I became, that's my language, that culture. So accordingly, B.V. Karant has used in that place, Kandgop, elements from different sources merged together to become a style, and Karant used to call it Karanthian style. So that is one of his great Indian production using our root elements. Third production of B.V. Karant is a National School of Drama presentation. NSD repertory presented that in 1981. The name of the play was Burnham Bun. Burnham Bun is the adapted version of Macbeth, Shakespeare's Macbeth. So, as we know, Shakespeare has written in a completely different way, different from our own sensibility. But Karant used Yakshagan style in his style of presentation. So that play is a very interesting production. So that he is another, as I told, I just named three persons: B.V. Karant, Habib Tanvir, Kavalam Padikar, and B.V. Karant. There is another one very interesting situation happened in 80s. It started in 75, from 75 onwards. One of our actor, designer, director from National School of Drama, Ratan Thiam, went back to Manipur in 74, as I remember. In 74, he went to Manipur and started his theatre company. Because he belonged to Manipur, Manipur is a different culture altogether, with lots of natural environment, lots of hills, lots of badiya, can say landscapes, and river. And you see, wherever I used to go to Manipur, I used to see its sunset. I liked it because all the 7 colors is being reflected in the sky. So, hello, am I audible, madam?
Yes, sir. Absolutely. Please carry on. Carry on.
Okay.
So please carry on. You are crystal clear. No problem.
Okay. Ratan Thiam started developing his theatre by using elements from Manipur. Manipur is known for martial arts. Manipur is known for singing cultures. And Lai Harba, Thangta, Nat, Sankirtan, and many theatrical forms, traditional folk forms are there in the culture. And they have everything is ritualistic. Manipur used to celebrate life. One important thing about Manipur culture, I must tell you, it is because of Sri Chaitanya Deva movement, that is in 15th century. Chaitanya Deva started from Navadvip now in Bangladesh, his journey, and because it's a Krishna Vaishnavite movement. The Vaishnavite movement started with Sri Chaitanya Deva Mahaprabhu. He started his journey from Greater Bengal, now it is in Bangladesh, and moved with his disciples towards the north. So he crossed the entire West Bengal. Then their team entered to Odisha. Then the team started moving to Assam, and from there they went to northeast hills in Manipur. So you'll find this entire belt, starting from Bangladesh till Manipur, you'll find a culture in which the mood of celebration becomes important. Because when Chaitanya Deva moves, they used to sing lot of songs, Bhakti Sangeet, jisko hum kehte hain, and using mridangam and that brass cymbals. So with that, you see, Kirtana is a tradition developed in these areas. Kirtana मतलब Bhakti Sangeet के ऊपर जो ट्रेडिशनल म्यूजिक है, कीर्तन बहुत लोगों को शायद पता नहीं होगा. बंगाल में, ओडिशा में यूजिंग मृदंग एंड टू सिंबल्स, दे सिंग द सॉन्ग्स in the name of Radha and Krishna. So Hare Krishna, Hare Rama, Ram Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare is the song. And they used to sing in a different way. And at the same time, they started Chaitanya Deva Mahaprabhu, while traveling, he used to perform plays of from the life of Lord Krishna. So, like, for example, one play which has been, it is there in the history, that Subhadra Harana, how Krishna has eloped with Subhadra, has been enacted. And in that, Chaitanya was performing the role of Subhadra. It is recorded in the history. So, you see, if you see Chaitanya and his two disciples, Nitai and Gaur, you find feminism. The delicacy, the softness, the feminist kind of, because Chaitanya every time used to say that I am the incarnation of Radha. So ये जो समर्पण का भावना है, the complete surrender in the to the supreme, ये चारों स्टेट में आपको मिलेगा. That is why it's my analysis. I may be wrong, but definitely I have done a research on that. Bengal, Odisha, Assam and Manipur, these 4 states में कल्चर में सिमिलैरिटीज है. एट द सेम टाइम समर्पण की भावना बहुत ज्यादा है, इसलिए दे स्पीक सॉफ्टली, सॉफ्ट एंड बेंडिंग. आप मणिपुर में देखेंगे कंप्लीट बेंड करके जमीन को छू के प्रणाम करते हैं. व्हाई? दैट केम फ्रॉम थ्रू आवर कल्चर. एंड इवन इन बंगाल आल्सो, इन ओडिशा, the way we speak is very soft and delicate. So this delicacy, which is our way of life, has been reflected in Ratanthyam's plays, whether it is his production like Chakravyuha, for which he became internationally famed, he did it in 84, or his recent production, When We Dead Awaken. It's a Western play by Ibsen, and he translated that adopted that into Manipuri culture, and that play got international acclaim, and Ratanthyam is considered as 100 great directors of the world. पूरी विश्व की 100 ग्रेट डायरेक्टर्स में रतनथयम का नाम है. ये बहुत कम लोगों को हिंदुस्तान में पता है, इवन थिएटर के वर्ल्ड में भी लोगों को ज्यादा पता नहीं है ये बात. सो बिकॉज ऑफ हिज वे ऑफ डूइंग द प्लेज, हाउ वी कॉल आवरसेल्फ इंडियन, ये अभी यहाँ नहीं, हमें हिंदुस्तान में ये बात नहीं मालूम पड़ता है, बट इफ यू गो अब्रॉड, you represent a country means you represent a culture, you represent a philosophy. आप एक दर्शन को, एक पूरी हमारी 5,000 years of tradition को हम represent करते हैं. So do you know how great responsibility is this? So that is why an artist must have a great sense of responsibility for his own land. Identity तभी बनता है जब मेरी अपना कुछ हो. मेरी अपना क्या है? मेरी कल्चर है, और कोई इसके सिवा कुछ हम ये दिखा नहीं सकते, किसी को कह नहीं सकते कि मेरा अपना है. We wear these clothes and everyone in the world wear this cloth, but from my soul I am Indian, and that means I must have certain identity, and that identity comes from my root. So in that way Ratanthyam developed. I mean, he is the extreme, he has reached zenith of Indian theater. Out of all these 4 what I named, everybody is but Ratanthyam became internationally popular because he traveled almost 60-70 countries for the last 40 years. For the Corona till Corona, he has traveled like a nomadic way throughout the world, and his team, along with his team, and this is very interesting, with 30-40 actors team, he used to travel to present his plays, and he is known for Indian tradition. So that is these 4 people, and there are other people also, as I named, not only in the field of direction but also in the field of playwriting. People adopted Indian cultures, Indian lifestyle, Indian temperament, and Indian sensibility. Like, for example, in 1954, Dharmavir Bharati, one of the great Indian writer and poet and author, who used to publish Dharmayug magazine long ago, he wrote first ever modern Indian play, Andhayug. It's about the last day of Mahabharata. महाभारत के युद्ध परांत उसमें स्टार्टिंग होता है, the after war. So it is so relevant. He wrote it in 1954 using all our traditional forms, our Gayaki tradition, singing tradition. So in his plays you will find one scene, then song, one scene, song. In that way the play moves. And our culture, Mahabharata is our culture. But how I can say modern? Because the war itself is used as a symbolism. It's not the Mahabharata war exactly. Not only Mahabharata war, but the war among the division, the partition, India and Pakistan. At that time, India and Pakistan got separated. And it was I mean, this partition, this division is very painful. So Indian, as I say, Indian, I have lots of relatives in Pakistan, particularly in border states like Punjab, Kashmir. Still then we are fighting. We are creating our own border. So ये border कहाँ है? Who creates this border between Kauravas and Pandavas, or between India and Pakistan, or between many countries? If anybody can take any country, or any people of different countries can take this play for their own. So in that way, the play become universalized, and that is the first play ever written in modern Indian after independence. This Naidu. Then another play written by Mohan Rakesh, Hindi playwright, Hindi professor in Delhi University. He started writing plays, though very realistic way. His play, if you see his plays like Ashar Ka Ek Din, Aadhe Adhure, Pair Tale Ki Zameen, these plays have Western sensibility in it, because he has taken the format of the play from the European, from Shakespeare, no, not from Shakespeare, from Chekhov or Ibsen, or from Harold Pinter. So the elements are taken from Western playwrights. That is why his plays are very realistic, because realism is not Indian. Realism is a Western concept, has been मतलब हमारे ऊपर थोप दी गई है. But हमारा तो we have very open things. We have stylizations, narrations. Our theatre is narrative, as our songs are narrative. Our Mahabharata and Ramayana are narrative काव्य. So इसलिए हमारे यहाँ पर दृश्य काव्य का concept है. दृश्य काव्य, that means a poetry which is visible to the eyes, and that is theatre. Theatre, when I say theatre, I'm including dance also, because dance and theatre combined together in Indian theatre. So हमारे यहाँ पर अलग नहीं है, संस्कृति अलग नहीं है. So that is why you call it नाट्य. So that is why राष्ट्रीय नाट्य विद्यालय. It's not नाटक विद्यालय. नाटक is a complete Western term. So हमारे यहाँ पर नाट्य का concept है. नाट्य पे सब कुछ आ जाता है, inclusive theatre. So मोहन राकेश ने आइडिया तो लिए, राइटिंग स्टाइल का आइडिया लिया वेस्टर्न से, बट जो कैरेक्टराइजेशंस की वो प्योरली इंडियन, वो भारतीय संस्कृति, भारतीय परंपरा, हमारी अपनी संवेदना, हमारी हार्ट थ्रॉब है. उसमें कालिदास की बात होती है जो कि इंडियन है. आषाढ़ का एक दिन इज ए प्ले बेस्ड ऑन आई मीन it may be an imaginary character, Kalidasa. The situations are imaginary, maybe, but the character is our historical Kalidasa and his life. So that is first ever, and during those time, it is the first ever Indian play, as I said, Dharmavir Bharati. Then his another play, Aadhe Adhure. You will find our middle class Indian family in 1960s. We are struggling for money during that phase. We do not have money, that much of money. Even today also, India is a very poor country because everything has been taken away from us. We were rich once upon a time, but now we are suffering, particularly the day when these plays were written. India was suffering with very less amount of money. हमारे पास कुछ भी नहीं था. Some crores of rupees, not even 100 crore rupees. The British छोड़ के गए इंडिया के लिए. So they come पैसे में कैसे, how Nehru has manipulated and created this country. उसको उसमें नौकरी के ऊपर बात होती है. एक आदमी जॉब करता है तो एक ही नौकरी में काम नहीं चलता, तो he tried to compromise using his time in other affairs. So but हमारी भारतीय संस्कृति की बात इसमें होती है. Then second playwright who started writing based on our Indian culture, Indian sensibility, he is Marathi playwright Vijay Tendulkar. Vijay Tendulkar ka most important play is Ghasiram Kotwal. Many people in Delhi might have seen this play because many NSD repertory used to present that play. Professor Ram Gopal Bajaj was doing the lead character. So in that, this play, we call it modern play, but at the same time, it is known for its identity in the roots. He has used two traditional theatrical forms of Maharashtra in that particular play. One is Lavani. Lavani parampara, Maharashtra में नाटकी परंपरा में है, जिसमें though it is a very low grade tradition, जिसमें
We
तबाय लोग
we
जी
had
मैडम
we had a session on this, sir. We had
oh
invited
great
someone. Yeah, so we've had a session on Lavani, Swang, all these. Ji, sir.
okay great, good then people can relate that so in
Yes.
the play is a Lavani based on Lavani tradition with movement with dance with songs but at the same time the play talks how British enter into India by using our Indian kings.
Hmm.
तो हमारे अपने लोगों को बिकॉज ब्रिटिश यहाँ पर आया था डिवाइड एंड रूल करने के लिए यहाँ पे अपने लोगों को उसने ब्राइब किया उनको संपत्ति का लालच दी और उनको पैट्रन किया आई मीन उनको प्रोटेक्शन दिए एंड उनके राज्य को धीरे धीरे कब्जा करने लगे सो ये दैट इज वाई उसमें एक साइलेंट कैरेक्टर है साइलेंट कैरेक्टर स्पीक्स नथिंग बट वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट कैरेक्टर ही इज ए ब्रिटिश सोल्जर आई मीन ब्रिटिश मैन विथ यूजिंग ए रेड कोट a symbolic British character stands every time present every time in one corner of the scene. एक scene हो रहा होगा तो he must be peeping through and writing something in the diary. That is the importance of that play. And also at the same time, the play talks about the immoral behavior of the Pune Pandit. पुना के जो ब्राह्मण है पुना यानी कि पुण्यपत्तन नगरी इट्स नॉट द नेम पुना कम फ्रॉम पुण्यव नगरी पुण्य मीन्स द मोस्ट वर्चुअस एंड सैंक्टिटी बट वहां की जो ब्राह्मण परंपरा है वो किस तरीके से हाउ दे पल्यूट देमसेल्व्स बिकॉज इन द मॉर्निंग डे टाइम दे से वी आर वेरी प्योर ब्राह्मण्स पुना के ब्राह्मण मीन्स प्योर ब्राह्मण बट इन द नाइट दे यूज्ड टू सी लावणी which was not in a good moral good practice for them and a lot of other things happens so this play Vijay Tendulkar had just you can say as a doctor he dissects the society and because of that the play got banned for many years the Pandit of Pune the Brahmins they went into the court and stopped this play for many years the play and because of this controversy the play get popularity. So in that way, Vijay Tendulkar has written plays. Then in Kerala, there is one playwright came, G.P. Deshpande. G.P. Deshpande, G. Shankar Pillai. There are two playwrights. G. Shankar Pillai, who established drama school of Trichur Drama School under Calicut University. He was the founder of that school and became the professor there till he got retired. He used all folk elements. As I told Panikkar, in my beginning stage, used elements to present his plays in Sanskrit plays. Similarly, Shankar Pillai, G. Shankar Pillai has written plays using folk elements of Kerala, like Theyam, Theyam, Kathakali, and all these things. So that way they enriched their modern tradition of theatre. So now the thing went on like that. Sangeet Natak Academy, the term theatre movement, 1 minute, the term Sangeet Natak, the term theatre roots has been given by the first secretary of Sangeet Natak Academy. I just forgot his name. I couldn't remember it now. So in 1984, in 1984, when this form is going to, I mean, a tradition comes and it is always there. A tradition will come and will go. Like a civilization will come and go. Something new will enter. So now the time has changed. Nobody is practicing movement, theatre of roots movement, and it is difficult because you will not find actors in modern society, not even in National School of Drama, Delhi, an actor who is efficient in singing and who is efficient in dancing. Then only this performance, this theatre can be practiced. Now people, everybody, when an actor comes to a drama school, he is thinking of Bombay. So then there he finished. Nobody is practicing this kind of theatre. But still then, there are few directors. Like for example, I recently did, 2 days, I came here to Delhi to direct a play of Girish Karnad. That is Nagamandala. Day before yesterday, I have a show at Sriram Center. Nagamandala. Nagamandala is also a play written by Girish Karnad. It was a psychological play. In the day, The play deals with the concept of day and night. In the day, how we behave with our wives, and in the night, how we love. So in between the play, I am not going to go into the depth of it.
Oh.
So accordingly, in '84, when this form is going to extinct, I mean, this kind of theatre approach, it's changing its colors. Government of India has taken a decision through academy, because Sangeet Natak Academy is meant to patronize, to restore our tradition. Academy has initiated a scheme for young theatre directors. That is very interesting. And young theatre directors, because those name I have taken here, they are the masters. They are our teachers. They are our previous generations. So we the preceders, for our generation, this form is going to be change its thing. So academy started a scheme giving some money, identifying some people in India. So every year, the scheme started, continued for 10 years. It started in '84 and ended in '93. After '93, the scheme is finished because of many other reasons. So what happened? Accordingly, the scheme, was to identify the culture and tradition and folk elements, original folk elements from your own region, the state which you belong to, and wrote a new play based on these traditions. But the play should not be a traditional play, a modern play with using all the elements of folk. So they called it going back to roots. Again, going back to roots. In that scheme, they identified, every year they used to identify the people through survey, because in that scheme you should not apply. There was no question of applying applications. You will be identified because people used to observe you. They have kept some representatives in different states. They depute some, and they give some names, and out of that name they select few names. One person from what, ma'am?
Sorry to interrupt, sir. There are some reactions and questions also coming. So if
yeah, I'm just in 2 minutes. I'm winding up this.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, in 2 minutes. Give me 2 minutes time. I'll finish it.
Thank you, sir.
So in that through that during 10 years, some young directors came with good productions. Out of them, 3-4 very important Indian theatre directors now, including myself also. I came from that project. In 88, I got a chance by the academy. Academy invited me and gave me a good amount of money to present a play. And because of that, I did a research of 6 months. It was a 6-month research project, and studied my own tradition, culture. I identified Chau movement. Chau is a dance form. It's a dance drama form from Odisha, Bengal, and Jharkhand now. So that is one belt. So that form, for the first time in the history of Indian theatre, I used that theatrical form and presented it into a national audience. First in my state, then out of many selected, a few have been again identified to present that in New Delhi. And in that, one director got the Best Directors Award, and he got 25 shows. So I am fortunate enough to get 25 shows for one production. And that gave me a kick to continue with that tradition. So now what I am because of that. Even not only me, there are many directors like Neelam Man Singh Chaudhary, very famous Indian theatre director, started her career in those days with this theatrical root movement. Then the former NSD director Vaman Kendre from Maharashtra, from Mumbai, he also, when he was young, he got a chance, identified to do a play using Dasavatari theatrical forms of his state from Maharashtra. And in that way, Indian theatre roots continued till the beginning of ninth decade of 20th century. But after that, globalization entered into India, and a lot of privatizations, globalization. So in that way, Western and European tradition, cultures, European sensibility enter into and our sensibility goes there. So in that way, we started doing it. I mean, though the root is there, but we directors went up to practice in a different way of taking theater in a different way. So that root movement is finished. Now we do not have, even our new young theater practitioners, they do not have an idea of these things, because nobody wants to go to the history. Everybody is going to for the future. What is will be in the future? So in that way, I just gave a brief history of how Indian theater finds its root in our tradition culture. So thank you very much. If you have some questions, you can ask me.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you so much, sir. I think you took us through a long journey in a very limited time, and we got your lecture ran like a storyboard. How you were just going ahead with every time phrase, and also the personalities that you spoke about, from Habib Tanveer to Kafi Azmi to Ratan Thiem. There are some questions coming. Sir, I think the greatest, I mean, this could be, this is just my, this thing, because I would just request my technical team to just give a glimpse to our participants about those 2-3 images that
Sure,
I
sure.
just, I just.
It is very difficult. Here you see,
No,
we teachers also. आप भी महसूस किए होंगे, when we talk to the
नहीं,
students, not to ourselves.
नहीं,
Here there is nobody.
नहीं, मैं आपको बताना चाहती हूँ सर, मैंने इसीलिए वो फ्रेज यूज किया स्टोरी बोर्ड, बिकॉज जब आप बोल रहे थे, तो जो आपका पैशन था, जिस तरह से आप एक्सप्लेन कर रहे थे, हम लोग को ऐसा लग रहा था हम कोई कहानी के थ्रू हमारी नजरों के सामने वो मंजर आ रहा था, एंड वी वर गोइंग थ्रू दोस स्टोरीज दैट यू वर शेयरिंग. नाउ आई टेल यू वन थिंग सर, जब आप एक्सप्रेशन की बात कर रहे थे, नरेटिव्स की बात कर रहे थे, मुझे नहीं पता, आई कुड बी रॉन्ग ऑल्सो, लेकिन एक फिल्म थी हीर रांझा, राजकुमार और प्रिय राजवंश की, वो पूरी फिल्म काफिये में लिखी गई थी और कैफी आजमी ने उसको लिखा था. द एंटायर फिल्म इज रिटन इन प्रोज, in poetry,
in verse,
yeah. So I think that is also one wonderful film. I mean that could be studied. So जब आप बता रहे थे, तो मेरा जहन उस तरफ चला गया कि हीर रांझा की कहानी को किस तरह से पोएट्री में एक हिंदी फिल्म ने प्रेजेंट किया है. My team, Shiva Chandra ji, can you just share some images that I just got through जब आपसे बात हो रही थी, तो वो share करते हैं, and then I'll just go through the questions also. So by the time my teammate Shiva Chandra ji shares some images, I just got something. So this is
hi Vadana.
Yes, sir. So this is all, this play, as you said, it's all about identity, self-discovery, and sense of wholeness. And sir, what you said.
Yes, this is very interesting. Thank you very much for sharing this poster.
No, I just wanted to give the participants, because I know your limitations. The next image, please. Next two, I think 2 more. Yeah, this is Agra Bazaar. ये दुनिया एक बाजार है.
Oh, so, yeah, please give me the screenshot of all this. I want to keep it in my library. Send me the screenshot.
So this is just Google. I just managed to आपके lecture से inspire होके मुझे I just got. I think there's. Let me just check. And as my friend is sharing the image, this was just to give you this thing. Now, sir, there are some questions.
Yes, please.
I don't know who is this. The identity reads as Galaxy Tab A7. Please reveal yourself so that we can share your name with sir. इनका question है और इनका comment भी है sir. मैं पढ़ देती हूँ.
My question is, sir, there are many.
Sir, you have a very well explained. You have very well explained the glaring difference between Indian drama and Western drama. Students have to be explained about it, including philosophy behind the 2 kinds of drama. It's good they are learning both Indian as well as Western drama. So he is probably trying to say. drama too. In theater.
Ma'am, we have to finish it in a few minutes because my battery and my internet, I'm using, what is that called? 4G.
Okay.
And it's going to,
fine.
my data is going to finish. So we can.
Okay,
Just
sir.
a minute, मेरे उसको
I
battery
think.
में.
अच्छा ठीक
Yeah.
है सर. मैं
नहीं, we can talk. मैं battery में लगाया हूँ.
आप लगा दीजिए please sir, because we don't want to.
1 minute. 1 minute. Okay, ठीक है.
आप बैटरी पे लगा दीजिए.
मैं लगा दिया, बैटरी चार्जर में लगा दिया है.
ठीक है सर. तो ये दो सवाल.
The only thing is that till my data goes off, then we can talk till that.
Yeah. So
Okay.
I hope you got the question. You want me to repeat it again? एक तो वो है कि why not the student should learn the Western as well as the. एक तो जी पूछ रहे हैं कि on some glimpses about Tamil and Bengal contribution to the theatre.
What? I couldn't get you, madam. Again, please.
Yes, sorry. I'll just.
Voice is breaking.
Okay, my question is, there are many universities having drama departments too. According to you, how about their contribution? Can you please mention about Tamil and Bengal contribution in theatre? Bengal
has a great contribution to theatre through modern sensibility. You see, all the experiments, whatever that we found in India, has been started with West Bengal, because I'm not saying West Bengal, in Bengal, that includes Bangladesh also. The reason is very obvious, because of IFTA theatre movement. That is the a political awareness. That so whatever we started in Bengal, all are analytical things. So Bertolt Brecht's plays came to India only because of IFTA movements. Otherwise, Brecht would not have been here in India. So Utpal Dutt, a communist, staunch communist, Utpal Dutt, then Sambhumitra, Ajitesh Bandyopadhyay, Rabindranath, then Satyajit Ray. So these people, they are the torch bearer of Indian culture and tradition. So whatever happened in other part of India started in Bengal first. So that is why every time, even today also, Bengal has its own cultural identity, because it's a vast land with lots of culture, vast country, vast state in the sense, West Bengal and East Bengal I'm talking, which is in Bangladesh. It's a part of India. So the culture is same. So in that way, Bengal has an immense contribution, and particularly Bengal is known for poetic renderings. That is because, as I told ना, चैतन्य मूवमेंट में एक समर्पण का जो है, एक राउंडनेस है, भाषा में एक राउंडनेस है, एक कंप्लीट सरेंडर है, वो एक सबमिसिवनेस है और एक सब्लिमिटी है, वो बंगाल थिएटर में रिफ्लेक्ट करता है. इवन टुडे आल्सो वो उनकी बाउल संगीत में है. उनकी जो कहते हैं कि नदी के किनारे के जितने सारे गांव, रिवर बंगाल इज सिट इन रिवर गैंजेस, and the bank of Ganges and Meghna and Padda river. So उसके जो नदी के जो आप इनका, even in Tripura also you'll find the same tradition. आप अगर S.D. बर्मन की गाना सुनते हैं तो उसमें अगर आप कभी दिल से ध्यान से सुनेंगे तो S.D. बर्मन के संगीत में वो रिवर, नदी का फ्लो है, वो इकोइंग रिवर है, एक चीज का राउंडनेस है, कम. तो ये सारी चीजें जो है ना बंगाल ने वर्ल्ड इंडियन थिएटर को दिया है. इवन टुडे आल्सो बंगाल इज मच अहेड देन अदर स्टेट्स. बट ओनली वन थिंग, रूट मूवमेंट की जहां तक बात आया है, अपार्ट फ्रॉम शंभुमित्रा और उत्पल दत्त, बंगाल हैज नॉट कंट्रीब्यूटेड मच टुवर्ड्स द ट्रेडिशनल थिएटर्स. है, किया है, मैं मना नहीं कर, आई एम नॉट डिनाइंग इट, बट नॉट मच. Other country like Karnataka and Kerala has contributed, because Bengal का थिएटर पॉलिटिकल हो गया, अवेयरनेस की तरफ चला गया. सो उसकी फॉर्म में और बहुत सारे न्यू फॉर्म्स, एक्सपेरिमेंट्स होने लगा है बंगाल में. बंगाल में लॉट ऑफ एक्सपेरिमेंट हुआ है. अगर बंगाल थिएटर में एक्सपेरिमेंट्स नहीं होता तो पीछे रह रहा होता.
नहीं सर, आपने बिल्कुल. और मैं, यस सर, कैन यू हियर मी? हेलो सर, कैन यू हियर मी? Can you hear me, sir? Sir,
Hello.
आपको सुनाई दे रहा है? Yes, sir. Can you hear me?
Sir, your voice is clear. You can
Hello,
tell.
are you getting me?
Yes, yes, sir. I'm getting you. आपको मेरी आवाज आ रही है? You can
Oh,
hear
no.
me? Sir, can you hear me?
Okay.
Sir, can you hear me? I think sir can't hear me. So maybe Shivaji, Shivachandraji.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, I think so. Can't hear me. Anyway, taking it from sir, we have many questions and Galaxy Tab A7. Sir, can you hear me now? Sir?
Yeah,
Professor?
I can hear you. I can't see
Okay.
you, but I can hear you.
No problem, sir. It's all right. Now, there is this intervention. There's this some comment coming. He's saying that I think Guru Dutt incorporated baul singing in some of his films. Do you think so? He's talking
Ma'am,
about-
I am not authority to that. So, with my little knowledge about films, I don't want to answer this question. You know,
I'll quickly, sir. I'll go to some comments of our participants. I'll respect that, and I'll go ahead with some comments of our participants. There's one comment by Taraji. She says, "Thank you, sir, for a very elaborate history on theatre. Despite your connectivity glitch, you went just fine." Then it's Dr. Sanjay Wagmare. He says, "बहुत बढ़िया व्याख्यान." And there's one question. I don't know. Yeah, I'll just go. This is a question from Dr. Jyotsna Fanija. She says, "In what way do you think theatre can be an effective pedagogical tool, not only for literature but other discipline as well?" Yeah, that's a very interesting question, sir.
very interesting question, and
Yes.
we are working on that. We are working on that. We now the concept of theatre has changed. Its connotation has changed completely. Theatre is not a medium of entertainment now only, though it's a medium of entertainment, but at the same time, it's a strong medium of education, educating people in the different vocations. So now even National School of Drama has also taken initiatives in at the end late 80s, in the 90s, and they developed a company called Theatre in Education. Theatre in Education, I was a part of that in the beginning. I joined in Theatre in Education with Barry John, who was heading the group. We used to educate teachers, parents, and young children, teaching them through their subjects like mathematics, history, literature, through the medium of theatre. And as today, in 90s, 91, 92, the students trained under us, because we used to go to different schools in Delhi and teaching the different classes, class 6, 7, 8, and even 10th and 11th. And those students, they now they are big shots. And
Sir, your voice is breaking.
See a big difference between business who are our
Sir, can you hear me?
hello. Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, sir. I think there is paucity of time, as we had started a bit late because of, and I think there are a lot of questions coming. Sir, I just had one thing to mention. इसके पहले हमारा एक लेक्चर हुआ था, तो उसमें एक ये बात जाहिर की गई थी सोशियोलॉजिकल पर्सपेक्टिव से कि औरतों का वर्जन कभी नहीं आता है या कभी नहीं बोला जाता है, लेकिन आपने एक इस बात को मैं मानती हूँ, लेकिन आपने एक बहुत अच्छी बात कही दैट द भक्ति लिटरेचर, जो समर्पण का लिटरेचर है, मीराबाई का जो लिटरेचर है, उसी को आगे बढ़ाते हुए आप इस बात को जानते होंगे कि हम एक महान कश्मीरी सूफी संत जो थी ललेश्वरी लालदेड़, शी वाज पार्ट ऑफ द शैविज्म स्कूल के बारे में उनका जो स्टाइल ऑफ वर्क, she used to live her life, She used to survive on alms, and she used to travel all alone. And this is, I'm talking about 13th century, not 2023. So इस तरह के जो narratives हैं,
Yeah.
इस तरह का जो literature है, इस तरह का जो क्या कहते हैं Indian folk traditions है, उसको मेरे ख्याल से जो आप जिस नाट्य शास्त्र की बात कर रहे थे वो बाहर लेके आता है, और रियल एक रूरल अर्बन कनेक्ट को भी वो जोड़ता है, ब्रिज करता है उस गैप को भी, और रियल परफॉर्मेंस में आता है. सो सर, आई थिंक बिकॉज ऑफ पॉसिटी ऑफ टाइम, मन तो नहीं कर रहा है मेरा, तो और मन कर रहा है कि मैं आपसे और बातें करूं और इस पे और आगे इस बात को लेते हुए जाऊं, लेकिन क्योंकि पॉसिटी ऑफ टाइम, और कल फिर से हमारा लास्ट डे है, सेशन है, और कल जल्दी शुरू होना है, तो हम अपने पार्टिसिपेंट्स को फारिग करना चाहते हैं. एंड आई वुड लाइक टू submit my official vote of thanks. So sir, on as you said, this, even I am a follower of this Indian tradition of thanks for joining our hands, and namaskar. And on behalf of Atmaram Sanatan Dharm College, on behalf of my honorable principal, Professor Gyantosh Kumar Jha, my IQAC coordinator, Professor Vinita Tuli, and the co-convener, Professor Anjali Gupta, and the entire team of this refresher course. And thanks to my technical support, my team, Shiva Chandra ji, Abid ji, Ravinder Pant, and all the entire technical team. And I can't thank enough my inspiring participants who are already also enthusiastic throughout the day, one after the other lecture, and their enthusiasm is so motivating for us. So I thank you, sir, for enlightening us and coming and sharing such a beautiful history in such a short span. It was really like a run-through film, and really, sir, thank you. We are honored. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, madam. Thank you. Actually, the thing what I talk to you, that is my life's real experiences, because I worked with all these people. I'm a bridge between contemporary and this tradition. So that is why I think it's a first-hand report what I gave you. No book will provide all these informations properly.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Definitely.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. And like it is said, and it is believed that since we were talking about roots of theater of roots, so we are teachers, and I firmly believe that teachers are roots to all new branches. So we are the roots of all new branches. We gained so much from your knowledge, and thank you so much, sir. Thank you. Namaskar, sir. Thank you.